Once again, raise your hand. We'll get a microphone. Mike, go ahead.
Matt, well, Coach Schifino had a fantastic game for them, but in that second half run, when they took control, it seemed like it was Galloway and some other guys that did more damage against you in that stretch.
Yeah, no question. Like, Galloway hit the 1-3 and attacked. I think Miller Kopp hit the one from the corner. When you're going to go in double, like, you can't let them out of the double. And they had some real clear passes, so there's risk involved. We do it, like, not just because it's Trace Jackson Davis, but we double a lot, but we don't double off the lane a lot. And so, like, going with the guard there, if you're going to double them and you can't limit their vision, people are going to get open shots. It's just like us. Like, they look really good at what they did tonight, and we look poor because they made some open shots and we didn't. And so, but we kept getting open shots, and so did they. They actually probably took tougher shots than us, but they had the right guy taking tougher shots. So Jalen Hood-Schifino was fabulous. And he killed us at Bloomington, really getting into some action, coming up through the middle and crossing out and getting to his right hand. And we really wanted to keep him off his right hand. And so he sent a news flash that he can play off his left hand. Like, he was really, really good. To be able to, I don't know if the right word is bottle up Trace Jackson Davis, because he just didn't get a lot of attempts. They didn't go to him a lot because Hood-Schifino was playing so well, and rightfully so. But if you told me that he would have 10 and 8, I would think we would be sitting pretty. But it kind of shows you how dangerous Indiana can be with that 1-2 combo there with Trace Jackson Davis and Jalen Hood-Schifino.
Matt, you keep saying you're not going to let bad shooters take shots, and I feel like you're not, but
right.
Just what do you put your finger on? That 5 of 23, 2 of those come late, and these 4 losses late or recently have been poor shooting performances from the outside.
Yeah, no question. Like, we lived with, we won the Big Ten one year when Carson Edwards was here, and he shot 28% from 3. So I lived with that question all the time. But I live with guys like that can shoot the basketball. And so, like, a majority of our shots I thought were pretty good shots. Like, if you're going to, like, just take him out of the equation and double him, and then you're going to get wide open shots, like, you got to step up and make them. Tonight we didn't make them. So, but I believe in our guys. I believe in their ability to shoot the basketball and step into wide open shots and be able to make them. And we just got to be better. I didn't have anybody on our team trying to miss. Sometimes you kind of want something, and then when somebody just simply plays better than you and shoots better than you and gets you on the run, it's tough to get back into the game.
Matt, it's been a rough stretch, result-wise, the last few games, obviously. What is the message right afterwards to your team?
Just stay process-based. Like, have to be better. Like, we should have been in a way. They played so well in that first 8 to 10 minutes of the second half. But we had so many shots at the rim. When you out-rebound somebody by 16 and then you shoot 21 more free throws than them, that is an unbelievable advantage, and we didn't take advantage of it. We didn't finish at the rim like we should. We didn't make some shots like we should. But it wasn't one of those effort things. Like, I didn't think it was like a poor effort. I thought our guys gave a good effort. They competed. They were better than us. They made shots, and we didn't. So we got to be able to fix that. But for the games that we've had this year, you out-rebound your opponent by 16 and the turnovers are about equal, and you're getting 21 more free throws. Like, I'll take that every single game. You gotta make a couple. And you just can't get down and then expect to make a run if you can't get stops, right? And that's kind of where we were. And then, we would do good things, they'd foul us, and then we'd split them, or we missed 2. And it just, when you're behind, you can't trade baskets right there, and that's kind of what happened.
Coach, IU obviously they started the second half strong and kind of pulled away, but why has this team struggled to hold on to leads in the second half?
Ours?
Yes.
You're talking about a 4-point lead to start the second half? I just thought they played better. I wouldn't say like holding on to. I don't know what game you're talking about, but when you're in that position and you're starting the second half, just like closing out the first half. Like, we make a big 3, Brandon makes a big 3 right there. We have a nice play right away. Zach makes a nice pass to Caleb. We get a dunk or a layup, and then they just kind of went on that run. And I can go through like what happened. I thought we had a couple poor double teams right there. I thought Jalen Hood-Schifino got too deep a couple times. And when you get deep, we got to switch that late. And we just kind of like left it there and just let him kind of hang. And he kind of hits that step back 12-footer, 15-footer. We got to play better. more than anything, they, give Indiana credit, they played better than we did.
Coach, I think over here in the corner.
Thank you, sir.
I think it'd be safe to say, this IU-Purdue rivalry is as alive as it's been in a few years.
Yeah.
With how intense that Purdue-IU matchup has been in both games this season, what does that do for the fans? And then also, how does that play into, how basketball just means more in the state of Indiana? Yeah,
well, we recruited the states really hard, and we got a lot of guys from Indiana on our team, and obviously, getting swept, by them is not something that, we want to have on our resume, but we do. And, it's just, I think it was 1994 is the last time we've played, and both teams were ranked. Is that right? I see that right on Twitter? Because there's no way Twitter could be wrong, right? So that has to be a fact. So laughing is a lot better than crying. But, no, I think it's great. I think it's, I've had opportunities to leave, and one of the things that I always think about if I leave and I'm not the coach at Purdue is I can't walk back into Assembly Hall and compete against them as the head coach at Purdue, and that bothers me. And it's a great feeling, and not always are you going to be successful. And I think that's what keeps you coming back for more. Because people can dissect you, but people can't tell you how you feel. They have no idea what you sacrifice and what you do to try to have a good program. They have no idea what the players do. So we got a bunch of players in there that, they're heartbroken, they're disappointed, but someone stuck it to us, take it. You gotta sit in it. If you're gonna do something about it, you gotta sit in it, and you gotta be honest with yourself. But I think that's what it really gets to in a rivalry like that. It's, you gotta throw everything out. But if you put everything on that's even up, you're gonna put yourself in a good position if you keep getting the right guys. We got the right guys. We're good. But it's coming down here the stretch, and everybody wants to play well, and everybody's kind of jockeying for position for either win the Big Ten or get in the NCAA tournament. And you got to play for keeps. You got to we got to produce a little bit better than we did tonight.
What did Brandon give you tonight, and how much do you need him now down the stretch here to have similar performances?
Yeah, well, I thought he really played hard. I thought he did some really good things on Hood Schifino, and he made a couple. Hood Schifino missed a couple shots that went in. No, it sounds crazy, huh, guys? But he hit. I was right there, and the ball. I'm like, hey, that's off, and then it hit there, boom, 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 and it went in. But when it's your night, it's your night. But I thought Brandon did some really good things. I thought he was competitive, took on the challenge. Obviously, he makes that big shot at the end of the first half. But no, you just got to stay with it. His thing is consistency. If he gives that kind of effort and that kind of focus, he's really going to help himself, because when you can guard and you can make open shots with our group and with Zach, we have to do a better job of complimenting Zach Edey. I think that's a very obvious statement, but we have to do a better job of complimenting him.
Matt, sorry, back here.
Go ahead, thank you.
Sorry, going back to Hood Schifino, when he's capable of scoring at multiple levels, what is difficult about basically getting him to play faster than he wants to, and getting him off his pace, I guess?
We're in a little different position because we can't get aggressive with Zach and some of those ball screen things. So we can get flat into a drop, if that makes sense to you. We can get up. If you get up with Zach, then we're susceptible to those flip-ups that Trace got in Bloomington, those flip-up lobs. And so Zach, you got to understand that. So we were trying to keep him away from that. And we did. Look at Trace Jackson's involvement in the game in the first half. I know he got a couple fouls, but he would, Hood Schifino played so well, they didn't even go to him. They went to him the first play, we made a steal, and they went to him a couple more times because they didn't have to. But no, we, he's tough. I don't know if we see him again. That's impressive. Very few people have rolled through here and done that, if anybody. That was 19 years old. That was impressive what he did. Think about his easy baskets that he had. He might have had that one layup in front of me. Think about it, he scores 14 field goals. He's a 6'4", 6'5" guard. He made tough shots all night. I know there's a lot of people here, but when you can go left and you can go right and you can you get to your kill spots and make those pull-ups and pass the basketball, because he's a willing passer. He's not one of those guys that if you take his shot away, you do whatever, he's going to be frustrated and take bad ones. He'll just play a role then and then distribute the basketball. And he's got a bright future, because guys that can do that consistently, make tough shots and distribute and make his team better, You know, there's not very many guys like that out there.
Matt, I'm sure you'll trade a loss to Indiana for wins in the NCAA tournament. You got two freshmen who, you know, received a lot of praise for most of the season, and I don't think they've probably struggled a whole lot in their basketball careers up to this point.
Right.
What do you hope that they learn from these struggles that help you win in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah. You know, just stay with it. That's why I told them afterwards. I said, like, don't, like, be honest about the film, be honest about what happened, and stay with it. Like, you know, keep taking your shots, keep taking good shots, keep being aggressive. You know, they're both very, very good players. They have a lot of responsibility for young guys, you know, on our team. And, you know, we expect a lot from them, and they expect a lot from themselves. So just stay process-based. Like, guys aren't doing things wrong. You know, but you got to complete plays, right? You got to get stops, and you got to be able to make some shots. And, you know, like I said earlier, like, no one was out there trying to miss shots. Like, and I don't think we had too many bad shots. You know, we just got to be able to complete plays, and both of those guys have done a lot of really good things for us. They just got to, you know, stay consistent.
Yeah. Matt, you mentioned about being process-based.
Yes, sir.
During the season. When it's February 25th.
Yes.
The urgency that implies, how much of it must you incorporate into what goes forward now?
Yeah, you know, a lot of people want change when it happens, and like, we just got to be better at what we do. Like, when you go forward, a lot of people are like, well, that's not working. It's like, well, what they did tonight, like, that's working. When the ball goes in, yeah. When the ball goes in, it looks like it's working. When the ball doesn't go in, it doesn't look like it's working. Jalen Hood-Schifino has really struggled on the road shooting. But I told our guys, I said, when he gets it rolling, guys, throw all those numbers out. If he doesn't, then those numbers apply, because that's the kind of player he is, you know, because he can really get some things rolling. But no, just staying with, you know, what we work on. Like, you know, you start in June, and now you get into these times of the year, you're gonna have some times like this. You got to keep going, and then people that look at it and don't understand that have not been through it. Because just like you can be on a high and that could be a negative, you can be on a low and it can be a positive. Like, you've seen guys struggle and then be able to turn things around. I mentioned Carson Edwards before, and he had struggled shooting in his last couple games of the season, even though we clinched a tie for the Big Ten title, and then we got beat in the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament. He struggled again. And those guys were like, man, what are we going to do? I said, we're not going to do anything different. And they go, but what, you know, what's the issue here? I said, we got a bunch of makes coming our way. And so I believe in guys that can shoot. Like, the guys that I've recruited and I've looked at, I personally go out and recruit a lot. I go and watch them. I get their numbers. You know, those guys can make shots. Like, I'm not worried about that. You get worried about if that happens at the NCAA tournament, right? Because you got to be able to make shots. You got to be able to do that. But what are you going to do? Give a speech about it? Like, you got to stay process-based, and you got to keep working. You got to keep putting in the time, and our guys do that. So I'm supportive of them and stand behind them, and I think we're gonna, you know, be better because of it. It's the only way to do it. It's the only way to, you know, keep an attitude like that, and then have that trickle down to your whole team. You know, yelling and screaming and going crazy because guys are doing what you ask them and they're playing hard. They just missed open shots. Like, that's not going to get you anywhere. So, thank you.
Thank you.